In Montgomery County, nothing stirs controversy like school boundaries, the third rail of local politics. With the opening of Woodward High in North Bethesda, Crown High in Gaithersburg, and the expansion of Damascus High School, the Board of Education isn't tweaking just one district, it's redrawing three. Cary, MCPS released 4 boundary options for each of the high schools, but it seems the one that affects Woodward is the one that is getting the most attention. Why are parents especially concerned about this school district?
That's been the case ever since we've done boundary changes back years and years ago. The fact of the matter is, our school districts have a lot to do with equity, relationship with your peers, your children, as well as test scores or SAT scores. So it's not surprising that parents would be in an uproar. People pay a lot of extra money just to live in a specific school district. What can I tell you?
Well, but it seems, Cary, that after the bruising battles of the 70s and 80s over busing, that it was generally thought that a geographical relationship to the school was the most important. Are we backsliding on that? Are we looking at, are we looking for, going back to the era of the early 70s?
Well, I mean, we've been talking about increasing housing in Montgomery County. There are limited opportunities to build new schools, because we've developed the county. So yeah, we are backsliding, or if not backsliding, we're just creating new. We're seeing new challenges in growth.
Stacey, I want to bring you in on this because the option number 3 that affects the Woodward School District, leapfrogs other school boundaries and pulls students from Aspen Hill into predominantly North Bethesda. Again, invoking the idea that busing is the solution. Is this political theater or is diversity the goal?
It's a great question, Casey, and I think it's always hard to tell when the spotlight's more about optics than outcomes. I say diversity is the plot and what will be a standing room only political theater. You have to question, is this a fight about moving students from political or maybe from lower income, more diverse neighborhoods like Aspen Hill into wealthier, whiter areas like North Bethesda under the aegis of promoting equity and diversity? Or is it simply virtue signaling and practicing social engineering without solving the root problem? Even if they were to move some of these kids out of that district over into a quote unquote wealthier, whiter area, then what are they doing to improve Aspen Hill? You can't ignore the kids that are left behind. So if you're going to be making strident efforts to improve that school, then why do you even have to bus them somewhere else? I'm not quite sure that that's the real fix if there's not true reciprocity, if that makes sense.
I think that's the key. The key from an outsider's position. You would want all of your schools to be improving. I mean, as we've seen the last 5 years, test scores have been on the downward trend, and that's because the focus of the MCPS hasn't been on education. Wouldn't you agree, Cary?
Well, it's funny you all said that. I mean, the Kennedy High School cluster has probably one of the lowest test scores in the county. We have high free and reduced meal rates, mobility rates. We're in need of help. We're in need of investment. The public school system has known for a long time they need to put money into it, but they chose, they're doing what they're doing.
Casey, if I can interject here. I'm a realtor, and I know for a fact that parents will move to any neighborhood affiliated with certain schools. And if Aspen Hill became a blue ribbon school, it doesn't matter the race, color, creed, it doesn't matter anything. Parents would be scrambling to move there. So that to me should be the focus. What are you doing to improve those schools? Because, integration doesn't necessarily bring inclusion, I mean, such as access to more difficult courses or critical social belonging. It just doesn't. So you have to really look at the whole picture here. I believe that Montgomery County is aggressively Tacoma parking the entire county. And our elected officials won't stop until they've annihilated what they perceive to be unfair privilege of upper classes and remake the county in their own socialist image.
Well, I've got the solution, as you all know, because this is what I repeat my mantra over and over again. We need vouchers. We need a voucher system where students can go to whatever school they want to and spend their own money on the vouchers. We need additional competition that'll improve the schools all over the county and in each one of these districts. But we're going to see a huge battle as they fight out where the boundary lines are for all these high schools. Cary, I love you. You're shaking your head. I know you think I'm wrong.